Hello and welcome to 4.6 inverse trig functions, the notes that we'll be doing for the next few days. So, quick review. If you have a function and you're asking if it has an inverse, then that function has to be 1-to-1 or have exactly one y value matched to each x value or pass the horizontal line test. What do all of these mean? They mean the exact same thing, the horizontal line test. So which of the following functions has an inverse function? Well, what does this graph look like? Everyone's very familiar with y equals x squared. Everyone's also very familiar with y equals x cubed. Which one of these functions has an inverse function? Well, the horizontal line test says draw a horizontal line, and if it crosses more than once, crosses twice, then it fails the horizontal line test. Fails horizontal line test. And the question is, can we do the same thing over here with the x cubed? And we know the answer to that. Let's see if we can try to find anywhere where we can draw a line and it crosses the cube root function more than once. And of course the answer is no. So this passes the horizontal line test, which means that exactly one y value is matched with each x value, and it also means it's 1-to-1. All of these three things mean the same. So what are we looking for? We are looking for what each function's inverse is, but we can't find an inverse function for x cubed because it fails the horizontal line test. So we have to restrict its domain. So we would say, well, because it crosses more than once up here, let's just do part of the graph. Let's just take as much of the graph as we can. And I like the origin because that's right in the middle, so we should include that no matter what. And we have a choice from there to go left or right. And I'm going to choose to the right, but I don't have to. I could have chosen to the left. But either way, that purple branch that I just drew passes the horizontal line test. So if we cut half of the function out, we can create an inverse function. And we all know that that inverse function is the square root of x, and you just take all of the x values and swap them with all of the y values, and you end up with a sideways half parabola. Why is it only half? Because we had to throw away the other half to make sure it passes the horizontal line test. On the other hand, the inverse of x cubed is cube root of x, and if we take 0, 0, and 1, 1, and 8, 2, which is the next point over there, and -1, -1, and -8, -2, we've got, I missed the point. That function. And that's the entire original function reflected. So anyway, we move on to ask the question, what is the difference between these two things? You can either solve the equation for x, when the equation is x squared minus 9, or you could evaluate the expression square root of 9, which we all know is 3. So the square root of 9 is 3, so why is this not the same thing? Well, because there are two solutions. There's +3 and -3. When you start with an equation, find all solutions. If you start with the square root function, remember it's a function, it can only return one answer, so return non-negative answer. A single answer, either 0 or a positive number, never a negative number. Your calculator will agree with you. If you type in the square root of 9, it will not give you 3 sometimes and -3 other times. It always gives you 3 because the square root function is exactly that, a function.